comes. She opened that letter so carefully because I eventually told her, I told you in a letter, but it's got confetti in it because it's exciting. She opened it so carefully she didn't spill a drop.
Aww.
So then I had a crocheted monkey, and I mailed it home to her, and I called her, and she said, I'm afraid to open the box. It might have confetti in it. And I told her, I said, it hadn't even gotten there yet. It was literally still sitting on the mailbox waiting for the mailman to come get it. And I'm like, I promise there's no confetti in it. So then I got off the phone with her and went to my room and filled up a whole new envelope with confetti. And I'm like writing this note like, ha ha ha, I'm hilarious. I told you there was no confetti in the box. I didn't say anything about this envelope. And I mailed that home, too. Well, she's such a little smart aleck, she felt the envelope. I was like, opened it real carefully, pulled it up. My mom said she yet again did not spill a single drop. She said, why do you keep sending me confetti? Do you hate me? You hate me, don't you? I'm like, I'm sending you confetti because I love you.
Aww.
She said, if you send me any more, I'm not opening the mail anymore.
She sounds like she's a lot of fun.
She is. She's a handful, though.
That's a girl for
I
ya.
think she gets it from me. She's great, though. She's something else.
You said that your dad's a preacher. Has your faith played in at all to your journey in any way? Or do you have? Would you identify with the faith your dad
I believe
has?
in God. Growing up, I had to go to church every Sunday. I also had to go to Sunday school. By the time I was a teenager, I had dealt with people at church that were very hypocritical or two-faced, and I would hide in the bathroom, pick my legs up on the toilet, and skip Sunday school class and skip out on church and all that. I stopped going. Because I dealt with a lot of stuff. Like if my skirt was too short, people at church would call me a whore, and I was like 14. That's part of the reason we were living in Indiana. We moved to Cambridge because the people at church wouldn't stop messing with me. And when I was 14, the thing every girl wore were those little plaid skirts and the little knee-high socks. That's what everyone was wearing. It didn't make me a whore, but that's what they called me, and I was just a little kid. I didn't even have sex. I smoked weed, but I did that because my brother did. I have 4 older brothers.
Oh, wow.
I was the only girl. They kept trying until they got a girl. I feel like they probably wish they stopped.
No, not at all.
But they're great. Like my dad, he's retired now, but he does preach at a little church. It's got like 10 members. I think it's in Kimball, Ohio. I've never been to it, but he just does that for just a little extra income.
Sure.
But
Your brothers in the system, or are they
my
all...
brothers, no. My brother Jacob is lucky that he's not. He had a coke problem when he got out of the military. He was in the Army. He was in Iraq. He's got 2 Purple Hearts. My brother Jim is actually a corrections officer at Toledo.
Sorry.
At prison in Toledo, TCI or whatever. When I was in EOCC, he used to write me notes asking me if I got a girlfriend yet. Was I making, asking me what all I was eating. Was I making breaks? And what was I buying on commissary? And
He thought he was funny.
Yeah, he did. He hasn't written me since I've been here, but he's kind of pissed off at me, so that's probably why. I always watch for him because he does a lot of transports, so when I'm sitting in the cage at OSU waiting for a test or something, I always watch the guards to make sure I don't see him come in there transporting someone.
Oh, jeez.
But I haven't so far, and they probably wouldn't let me talk to him if I did, but...
Yeah.
My brother Jeff, I forget what my brother Jeff does. His wife just died after I got here. My sister-in-law, she was my sister, really. They've been together since as long as I can remember. And I'm 36, so that's quite a long time. But, so that was rough. I was really upset. I missed her funeral, and then her daughter's getting married in January, so I'm going to miss that, too, because I don't get out until March. But...
And when are you due?
I'm due December 3rd, and with my September good days from class, my out date is March 3rd, so... I mean,
That's not that long.
I can still earn more good days. I signed up for a class that I'm really hoping they let me participate in because it's breaking the cycle and it's for addicts. So it's a class that I feel I will benefit from. but I can also get good days for.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
and good days means days that you get out earlier.
My cap date, which is the earliest I can get out with good days, is in February. Is February 2nd.
Okay.
So I was hoping I could whittle a little bit more time off and come home as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to judicial or anything. I was eligible, like I could, but I don't want to go home and be on papers again. Mm-hmm. I just want all of it to be out of my life. Will you not have to be on
probation then like if you get out in February or March or whatever, you're not on?
It was my whole sentence. They didn't order mandatory post-release control, so I think I'm done. They told me because they didn't actually revocate me.
Oh, yeah, because you turned yourself in. So I
turned myself in. They scheduled a preliminary hearing, and they told me that if I was willing to come in there and because I actually had a year left on my time, and they told me if I was willing to come in there and admit that I did all these 13 different things, that they would only send me for 9 months, not 12, and but that I would also be admitting that I couldn't complete probation successfully, and that would probably disqualify me from ever being on probation again. So I think when I go home, I'm just done. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I don't even know how you find that out.
It's hard to be 100% sure of anything in here.
It is. It really is. You never know what's going on.
We waited an hour and a half the other day just to get in here, and then today we waited for 35 minutes, 40 minutes.
Well, today.
And we're not even, visiting inmates, right?
Today's a different kind of day because somebody got caught with drugs in here today.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that, but...
How did that... Well, they said something... They had an incident.
Yeah. She came back from the hospital yesterday and smuggled a bag of methadone in with her.
Oh, jeez. How do you even do that?
She probably stuffed it up in there.
But I mean, how do you get it at the hospital is my question.
Well, she was on methadone here. They don't take it away until you get back here. So they're giving it to her. You can hide pills up in your cheeks when they give you to take it.
When they were giving it to her at the hospital. Got it.
So they'd give her say they give her 80 milligrams.
Sure.
They're 10 milligram tablets. She just keep a couple every time, hide them. So yeah, she messed up all our mornings. We were all stuck in our rooms, and it was a different kind of day. Doesn't usually happen.
Oh,
no, that's the first time I've ever seen it. I've only been here for 3 months, but. I mean, I've had trouble. It's the same girl that told me I was going to kill my baby, and I've seen her do other things. Like we were supposed to split a skein of yarn that a woman gave us, and she wouldn't give me my half, and never did. So
where is she now? Is she?
She's in a room locked up by herself, and it's like.
So the way they do ADSEG here, pretty much, they're like.
Yeah, it's just.
She's just locked by herself.
Yeah, she's still right up in the hall, but yeah.
How did they find it?
From what I understand, she went to the doctor and had it in her bra. She's clearly not the smartest drug smuggler because they found it immediately. Yeah, she's something else.
That would be a quick way to find it.
Yeah, it's not so smart.
Yeah, I personally would never smuggle drugs into prison, but if I was going to, I would.
If you were going to, what
wouldn't take them with me to the doctor.
What would somebody do? Isn't just generally that? But they make you cough.
You squat and cough, but if you put them up there far enough, they're still not going to see them. I know people at home that have snuck a bunch of. Girls will sneak anything.
Do you have to do that every time you come back from the hospital? Do you have to squat and cough and you get strip searched and all that?
Never actually. I don't think they've ever checked me when I came back. Before I go, they watch me change into my orange suit in the bathroom. Before you go to visits and leave visits, you have to squat, cough, strip, all that.
Was that hard to get used to? Or not really?
Once you've done it a few times, you just kind of... You got to do it whether you want to or not, so you just do it. I'd rather not, but
yeah.
They won't let me decide.
Yeah.
Usually they'll let you do half at a time, make you show them the top half first, so that you're still at least halfway covered. You're not just standing there butt naked. So it's a little less uncomfortable than
yeah.
I guess. It's still uncomfortable, but it's worth it to see your family.
Yeah.
It is.
This visiting room is so small.
It is. And you can go outside. I never have because it's always been hot when I've had visits. I've only